I'll repeat the question, Mr. Cole. Daniel's voice slices through the quiet courtroom. Do you agree that the house, vehicles, and joint savings will be transferred to Mrs. Cole under the divorce settlement? My throat is dry. Yes. The word falls out like dust. I don't look at Samantha. I can't. Daniel continues, pretending to sound polite. And you understand that by signing, you relinquish all rights to shared assets. I understand. My lawyer touches my arm gently. Ethan, we can still appeal. I shake my head. No. Just finish it. The judge adjusts her glasses. Then it's settled. Mrs. Cole will retain ownership of the property and finances. Custody, irrelevant, as there are no children. Her gavel hits. One sharp sound. The end of everything. Daniel smiles faintly at Samantha. She doesn't smile back, just exhales, like she's been waiting for this moment. I stare at the papers before me. My signature looks foreign, a stranger's name on a stranger's mistake. Mr. Cole, the judge says again. You may collect your personal belongings within 48 hours. I nod. My tongue feels heavy. Yes, Your Honor. Chairs scrape. Papers shuffle. People start leaving. I remain seated. The courtroom empties around me like air leaking from a balloon. Ethan, my lawyer murmurs. You did the right thing. You avoided a long fight. I almost laugh. Right thing. Losing everything is the right thing now. He sighs. Sometimes peace is worth more than property. I watch Samantha gather her files. She wears the same perfume I bought her on our anniversary. It still smells like warmth, only now it burns. She finally glances at me. Just one look. Cold, calculated, final. You got what you wanted, I say quietly. She tilts her head. Don't make it sound cruel. You knew this was coming. I blink slowly. No, Sam. I didn't. Daniel steps in, smirking. Let's not turn this into drama. The paperwork's clear. Of course, I say. You made sure of that. Samantha's jaw tightens. Ethan, I'm sorry it ended this way, but I need to move on. I want to ask when she started needing Daniel more than me. But my lips stay still. I just nod. Then move on. Her expression flickers for a second, like guilt tried to surface but drowned too soon. Daniel slides the final folder toward me. Last signature, Mr. Cole. My hand trembles slightly as I pick up the pen. You know, I whisper, you were my friend once. Daniel doesn't flinch. Business, Ethan. Nothing personal. I sign. The pen scratches louder than it should. When I set it down, my life feels lighter, not in a good way, but like something's been torn out of me. Samantha turns away. Daniel places a hand on her back as they leave. I stare at that hand. I remember when it was mine resting there. My lawyer clears his throat. Ethan. I'll walk, I mutter. He hesitates. You shouldn't be alone tonight. I've been alone for months. I just didn't notice. Outside the courtroom, the hallway hums with distant footsteps and murmured conversations. Olivia stands near the exit, clutching her bag. When she sees me, her eyes soften. It's done, she asks. It's done. She bites her lip. You don't deserve this. Maybe I do. She shakes her head. Don't start that again. She used you. I lean against the wall. The chill seeps through my jacket. Maybe she just stopped loving me. Olivia steps closer. People don't destroy what they stop loving. They destroy what reminds them of who they really are. I look at her, but I can't hold the gaze. You sound like my therapist. I sound like someone who cares. Her voice cracks just a little, and that tiny sound makes something twist inside me. I push it down. I can't feel anything right now. She took everything, I whisper. Not everything, Olivia says. You still have yourself. I almost smile. That's the problem. She exhales, frustrated. You're not broken beyond repair, Ethan. You're just tired of being the only one who stayed honest. Her words echo, but I can't let them in. I nod toward the exit. Let's go. I need air. We step outside. The city hums in the distance, cars, sirens, people with places to be. The world hasn't noticed my life just ended. Olivia walks beside me in silence. When we reach the parking lot, she stops. Come home with me. You shouldn't sit alone tonight. I'll be fine. You're lying. I know. We both laugh, but it's hollow. She reaches into her purse, hands me a folded note. Call me when you're ready to talk. I don't know when that'll be. I'll wait. Her car drives off, taillights fading into the gray. I stand there, holding the note like it's proof that someone still exists for me. The wind picks up. My tie flutters against my chest. I finally look up, clouds rolling across the sky like they're being chased by something invisible. I whisper to no one, she took everything. The words taste empty now. Maybe because I'm starting to realize what's left. I walk away from the courthouse, hands in my pockets, papers rustling against my coat. My footsteps echo, slow and even. Somewhere behind me, laughter spills from the front doors, Samantha's voice, light and careless. I don't turn around. Not anymore. When I open the door, silence greets me first. The kind that presses against your chest until breathing feels like effort. The apartment smells faintly of jasmine, her perfume. I never realized it lingered on the curtains. I drop the keys on the counter. They make too much noise. Her picture hangs on the wall, our wedding photo. She's laughing, head tilted toward me. I used to think that laugh was forever. Now, it feels like mockery. My hand moves before I think. The frame hits the floor, glass shattering across the tiles. There, I whisper. Now we're both broken. The words echo, and I hate how small they sound. A knock interrupts the silence. Ethan. Olivia's voice filters through the door. I hesitate. It's open. She steps in carefully, holding a paper bag. You didn't answer my calls. Didn't want to talk. I figured. She looks at the photo on the floor. Rough day. Just the usual, divorce, humiliation, emotional death. That's 3 rough days in one. She sets the bag down. I brought dinner. Don't ask what it is. You'll eat it. I'm not hungry. You say that every time. I mean it this time. She folds her arms. Then I'll just sit here until you change your mind. I sigh and drop onto the couch. You don't have to babysit me. I'm not babysitting. I'm being a friend. Feels the same. Then I must be doing it right. For a moment, neither of us speaks. She sits beside me, her hands folded in her lap. Do you ever think, I say quietly, that maybe she was right to leave? Olivia turns. Right? I wasn't perfect. I worked too much. I missed dinners. Maybe I made her feel invisible. She frowns. You're human, Ethan. Not a villain. Maybe I'm both. She didn't leave because of your flaws. She left because she stopped caring enough to work through them. I look at the window. The city lights blink like dying stars. I keep replaying it. The way she looked at me in court. Like a stranger. Like none of it ever mattered. Olivia's voice softens. You didn't lose her. You lost someone who stopped loving you. The words hit harder than they should. You make it sound simple. It's not simple, she says. But it's the truth. I lean back, rubbing my eyes. Truth doesn't help. It just sits there, heavy and useless. You're allowed to feel broken, she says. You don't have to pretend you're fine. I chuckle dryly. That's good, because I'm doing a terrible job pretending. Good. She smiles faintly. Means you're still real. I stare at the mess on the floor. She used to say this place was too quiet. Now it's like the walls are punishing me for agreeing. Then make it yours again, Olivia says. Change it. Paint something. Break something else if you have to. I've already started that. I nod toward the shattered frame. She sighs. Then start fixing things that matter instead. Her words hang there, gentle but sharp. I don't answer. Eat something, she says finally. Please. I'll try later. That's what you said yesterday. Yesterday, I meant it. And today? I pause. I mean it more. She shakes her head, exasperated but not surprised. You're impossible. I've been told that. Her phone buzzes. She glances at it, then back at me. I should go. You need rest. I won't sleep. Try anyway. Why? So I can dream about her. No. So you can dream without her. Something cracks inside me, not loud, not dramatic. Just quiet acceptance that she's really gone. Thanks for coming, I say. Always, she whispers. Call me if you need to talk. When the door closes behind her, the silence returns, heavier this time. I walk to the kitchen, pour a glass of water, and stare at the reflection on the surface. My eyes look older. I think about calling Samantha. Just once. To ask if she feels anything. But I know she doesn't. The phone stays on the counter. Minutes crawl by. I sit on the floor beside the broken frame. The photo's torn, her smile split by cracks of glass. I touch it anyway. Was any of it real? I whisper. The room answers with nothing. Midnight creeps in. I still haven't moved. My mind keeps replaying court, her voice, Daniel's smirk. Each memory cuts deeper. At some point, I reach for my laptop. Maybe work will help. Maybe distraction will feel like control. The screen lights up my face. Hundreds of unread emails. I scroll mindlessly, invoices, newsletters, spam, until one subject line catches my eye. Proposal opportunity, Horizon Towers project. A big one. The kind of job that could save what's left of my firm. I click it open. The details blur together through my tired eyes. A deadline. A chance. A flicker of something that isn't pain. I whisper, maybe tomorrow. For the first time in weeks, the word tomorrow doesn't sound like punishment. I close the laptop, lean back against the wall, and breathe. Outside, the city hums. Inside, the silence hums louder. I don't know which one hurts more. Did you hear? Liam asks, leaning against my office door. I don't look up from the blueprints. Probably something I don't want to. He hesitates. Samantha and Daniel. They're living together. In your old house. My pencil freezes mid-line. My house? Yeah. Big party last weekend. Social media's full of it. I stare at the drawing in front of me. The lines blur. That was fast. Liam exhales. I shouldn't have said anything. No, I interrupt. You did me a favor. He studies me carefully. You're taking this well. I've stopped expecting loyalty. Makes betrayal easier to digest. He opens his mouth, then closes it again. Want me to delete the posts? I shake my head. Let them celebrate. The party won't last forever. Liam nods slowly, sensing something in my tone. If you say so. When he leaves, the room feels smaller. My chest tightens, but I force the anger down. I can't let it win. Not yet. That night, I open my laptop. The glow fills the dark apartment. Every headline mocks me: local architect loses firm equity in divorce. Ex-wife partners with rival firm's attorney. I whisper, enjoy it while it lasts, Sam. But revenge is just a whisper, not a plan. I close the browser, open the project folder instead. Work, the only thing that still listens to me. Hours pass. My sketches pile up. The city outside starts to pale with dawn. My fingers ache, but I keep drawing. At 7, my phone buzzes. A message from Mia. Good morning. Should I bring coffee or actual breakfast? I reply, both. And patience. She arrives 30 minutes later, all energy and optimism. You look terrible, she says, setting down a tray. Good. Means I'm productive. She grins. That's one way to measure success. I sip the coffee. We need to win that Horizon Towers bid. I read the proposal last night, she says. We can make it better. You sound confident. I am. She slides a folder across the table. You think too much about them. Think about this instead. I glance at her notes, sketches, material ideas, cost analyses. It's good. Very good. You did this? Teamwork, she says, smiling. But yeah, mostly me. For the first time in weeks, I actually laugh. You'll ruin my reputation if people find out my intern's smarter than I am. I'll keep your secret, she teases. But only if you eat something. I pick up a sandwich reluctantly. You sound like Olivia. She cares. I care. Same thing. I study her face, young, determined, full of fire I once had. You shouldn't waste your energy on a lost cause. You're not lost, she says quietly. You're rebuilding. Her words stick. Rebuilding, I repeat. That's generous. It's accurate. She leans forward. You're better than them, Ethan. You just forgot. I stare at her for a moment. She means it. That belief hits harder than pity ever could. Maybe, I say. But being better doesn't pay bills. Winning Horizon will. She's right. So I focus again. Blueprints, designs, schedules, the rhythm pulls me in. Work becomes the wall between me and everything I don't want to feel. By evening, the apartment is littered with papers. Mia gathers her things, stretching her arms. You should sleep. I will. After a few edits. You said that 4 hours ago. Then I'm consistent. She laughs softly. Consistency looks good on you. Bit of advice though, don't let anger design your next building. I look up. Who said I'm angry? She gives me a knowing smile. Your jaw. It's been clenched since I got here. I touch my chin. She's right. Old habit. New project, she corrects. Let it go. I nod, though I don't mean it. She leaves, and the silence returns, familiar, almost comfortable. I stand by the window, staring down at the city lights. Somewhere out there, Samantha is laughing in my house, drinking from my glasses, pretending she earned it. A part of me wants to storm in and take it all back. Another part whispers that I don't have to. Karma is patient. And so am I. The phone rings again, Olivia this time. Hey, she says when I answer. Liam told me about the house. I'm fine. No, you're furious. I said I'm fine. Liar. I close my eyes. What do you want me to say? Say you're hurt. Say you hate her. Just stop pretending you don't feel anything. I breathe slowly. If I let it out, it won't stop. Then let it burn, she says. At least you'll know what's left. I can't. Not yet. Why? Because I want to build something first, I say quietly. Something they'll have to see. Something they can't destroy. Her voice softens. That sounds like revenge. Maybe it is. Maybe it's survival. She pauses. Either way, I'll be here. When the call ends, I stand there for a long time, phone still in hand. The anger doesn't fade. It condenses, sharp, focused, almost useful. I turn back to the table, pull out the plans again. My pencil moves easily now, steady and sure. Each line feels like a quiet declaration, you can take everything, but you won't take me. Outside, thunder rumbles in the distance. I open the window slightly, the wind carries the smell of rain. Somewhere, deep beneath the noise of the city, I swear I can hear laughter, hers. It doesn't hurt this time. It fuels me. 3 interviews in 1 week, Olivia says, flipping through the newspaper clippings scattered across my desk. You've officially gone corporate famous. I smirk faintly. I'd settle for solvent. She laughs. Come on, Ethan. You've rebuilt your firm in record time. That's not luck, that's survival. Survival's all it ever was, I say, glancing at the article headline, Ethan Cole designs the future of urban architecture. My own face stares back at me, confident, collected, unfamiliar. Do you ever stop? She asks. Only when I'm asleep. So, never, she mutters, crossing her arms. You know you don't have to prove anything anymore, right? I do, I say quietly. To myself. She studies me for a moment. You still think about her? I tap my pen against the table. Sometimes. Like a scar that itches when it rains. Olivia sighs. Then I guess it's pouring. It always is, I reply. The door knocks. Mia steps in, a folder tucked under her arm. Sorry to interrupt, but the Chamber of Commerce wants you at the charity gala tonight. They're giving you that Innovator of the Year award. I blink. Tonight? Black tie, she says, grinning. You'll survive. Olivia nudges me. Go. Show them what ashes can become. I glance at her. That's poetic for you. It's true, she says. You're living proof. The ballroom glows gold, crystal chandeliers, soft music, laughter that sounds too polished to be real. I adjust my tie, already wanting to leave. Smile, Mia whispers beside me. You're supposed to look honored. I'm supposed to look human. I'm working on it. She chuckles. Fake it better, boss. Then I see her. Samantha. Time slows. She's across the room, glass in hand, Daniel at her side. Their laughter dies the moment our eyes meet. She blinks first. He looks away. Mia notices. That's her, isn't it? Unfortunately. Want me to block the line of sight? No, I say. Let her look. Samantha hesitates, whispers something to Daniel, then walks toward me. My heartbeat stays steady. The anger that once roared feels muted now, replaced by something colder. Ethan, she says, stopping a few feet away. I didn't expect to see you here. I was invited, I say simply. You look, she hesitates, searching for the right word. Different. No, I reply, holding her gaze. I just stopped breaking for people who enjoy my pain. Her lips part slightly. That's not fair. Neither was anything else, I say. She looks down. You seem happy. I seem composed, I correct. There's a difference. Daniel said. I cut her off. You really want to bring him into this conversation? Silence. Her eyes flick toward Mia, who stands beside me like quiet armor. You moved on quickly, Samantha says. Mia's my intern, I reply flatly. Not my replacement for whatever you think love was. Her jaw tightens. You always knew how to sting. No, I say softly. I just learned from the best. Daniel approaches then, forcing a laugh. Ethan. Good to see you, man. Daniel. My voice is calm, almost bored. Still cashing checks you didn't earn? His smile falters. Always a joker. Always right, I say. Samantha tugs his arm. Let's go. He shrugs, nods toward the crowd. We'll talk later. No, we won't. They leave. Mia exhales. You handled that well. I didn't handle anything, I say, staring into my drink. They just don't matter anymore. Sure feels like they do. Maybe, I admit. But only in the way a shadow reminds you there's still light. Weeks pass. The firm explodes in growth, new clients, press features, awards. Every success feels sharp, like glass polished by old pain. Ethan, Vogue Business wants an interview, Mia says one morning. They're calling you the comeback story of the decade. I laugh. Funny how people love rebuilding, as long as they don't have to do it. You earned it, she says. All of it. Maybe, I murmur. But it still feels like revenge wearing a mask. She tilts her head. So take it off. I look at her, unsure if she's naive or wise beyond her years. And what's underneath? Maybe peace, she says. Peace is expensive, I whisper. And I paid in silence. One night, Olivia calls again. You've seen the news? No. She hesitates. Daniel's firm is under investigation. Debt, bribes, bad contracts, it's ugly. And Samantha's name's attached to one of the accounts. I say nothing. You okay? Yeah, I say after a beat. Better than I should be. You sound cold. I'm just done. Olivia pauses. You don't want to celebrate? What would I celebrate? Their collapse doesn't fix me. Then what does? I don't know, I admit. Maybe nothing. At the next networking event, I hear whispers everywhere, Daniel's lawsuits, Samantha's sudden absence, the sympathy masked as gossip. Someone asks, weren't you two married once? I smile politely. Once. Then I remembered I had a spine. They laugh, and I walk away before they can say more. Mia finds me outside later, by the terrace. You okay? I'm watching Karma work overtime. She leans on the railing beside me. Feels good. Strange, I say. I thought I'd feel vindicated. Instead, it just feels quiet. That's peace, she says again. Maybe. Or maybe it's just the absence of chaos. She smiles faintly. Either way, you're standing again. I look up at the night sky, city lights reflecting in glass buildings I designed. Yeah, I whisper. And this time, no one built it for me. Mia glances at me, her eyes warm. You're not as hollow as you think. Don't overestimate me, I reply. Too late, she says. I almost smile. You're dangerous. So I've heard. We stand there in silence, not awkward, but steady, like the pause between lightning and thunder. Inside, music swells, laughter continues. Out here, I finally feel the distance between who I was and who I became. I whisper to myself, the fire didn't destroy me. It refined me. And for once, I almost believe it. The call came on a gray afternoon. I almost didn't pick up. Ethan. The voice was soft, hesitant. Samantha. My mouth felt dry saying her name. Didn't expect to hear from you. I just want to talk. About what? Closure. The word lingered like smoke. I stared at the city outside my office window, towers I'd built, still standing. All right, I said. Tomorrow. Café Luna. Noon. She arrived late. She always did. Her eyes darted as she entered, scanning the room like she expected judgment in every glance. Her hair was pulled back too tight, her makeup trying to hide what time and stress wouldn't forgive. I sipped my coffee. You look nervous. I didn't know if you'd come. I almost didn't, I said. But curiosity wins sometimes. She sat down, folding her hands. Her nails were chipped. I noticed the small things, the signs of a life cracking at the edges. How have you been? She asked, forcing a smile. Busy, I said. Work's good. You. Her eyes flickered. Things are complicated. That's one way to put it. Daniel's been under a lot of pressure, she said quickly, like a reflex. The firm. I've read the reports, I interrupted. You don't need to explain. Her lips trembled. It's not what it looks like. Then what is it? I asked quietly. She looked down. He's been different. Short-tempered. Distant. Debt will do that, I said. So will guilt. Her eyes shot up. You think we deserve this? I didn't say that. You don't have to, she snapped. I see it in your eyes. I leaned back. You're imagining things. Stop pretending you don't enjoy this, she said. I don't. Liar. I sighed. I don't get joy from watching people burn their own houses down. I just stopped trying to save them. She looked away, blinking fast. You sound so calm. Like none of it mattered. It mattered, I said. It broke me. But it doesn't define me anymore. Her voice cracked. You won. No, I said softly. I didn't win. I just survived better. She went quiet for a moment, then whispered, you were always stronger than me. No, I said. Just slower to quit. A shaky laugh escaped her. Daniel said you'd gloat if we ever fell. Then he doesn't know me as well as he thinks. He doesn't know anyone, she muttered. He's not the man I thought he was. And you? I asked. Are you the woman you thought you were? Her eyes glistened. No. Good, I said. Self-awareness is progress. You sound like a therapist. I had to become one for myself. She stared at me, her voice softening. You look different. Colder. But, more alive. Cold keeps you from melting, I said. Do you ever miss it? Which part? Us. I looked at her, really looked at her. I missed the idea of us. Not the reality. Her hand trembled around the cup. He said I'd regret everything, and he was right. Regret isn't karma, I said. It's just the echo of a bad choice. She swallowed hard. Do you hate me? I shook my head. No. Hate's heavy. I let it go a while ago. Her voice dropped to a whisper. You should hate me. I did, I admitted. Until I realized I'd rather rebuild than rot. She stared at her reflection in the coffee. You're happy now. I'm peaceful, I said. That's better. I don't know what peace feels like anymore. Then maybe this is where you start finding it. She looked up, eyes red but steady. I don't know if I can. You can, I said. But you'll have to stop pretending the castle isn't collapsing. A small, broken laugh left her lips. You always were good with metaphors. I learned from living them. I thought Daniel and I were building something real, she said. You built it with borrowed bricks, I replied. They were bound to fall apart. Her breath caught. You really don't plan to take revenge? No, I said. Life's doing that for me. Silence settled between us. The kind that doesn't demand to be filled. Finally, she whispered, you deserved better. I know. She blinked, maybe expecting me to soften, to say something kind. I didn't. I should go, she said, standing. Take care, Samantha. Her voice faltered. You won't answer if I call again, will you? No, I said. There's nothing left to say. Her shoulders dropped. Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye. When she walked out, the door chimed softly. I watched her silhouette vanish into the crowd outside, smaller somehow, like guilt had made her shorter. Mia's voice broke through my thoughts when I returned to the office later. Rough meeting? Expected one thing, I said. Got another. Closure, she guessed. Something like that. She nodded. You don't look angry. I'm not. Then what? Done, I said simply. She smiled faintly. That's better than revenge. Maybe, I murmured. But not as satisfying to some people. She tilted her head. To you. I paused, thinking. No. Satisfaction's temporary. Peace lasts longer. She grinned. Look at you sounding all zen. I fake it well, I said. She laughed, walking off. Fake it till it's real, right? Something like that. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the skyline. Somewhere out there, their perfect facade was crumbling, not because I pushed, but because truth eventually does what time demands. For the first time in years, I didn't feel the need to chase justice. It was already catching up. And I didn't even have to watch. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing that morning. Notifications stacked like falling dominoes, messages, news alerts, missed calls. I ignored the first few, until Olivia called. Ethan, have you seen it? She asked, voice breathless. Seen what? I muttered, half asleep, reaching for my coffee. Daniel Grant. He's all over the news. My hand froze around the cup. What happened? She hesitated. You should probably read it yourself. I opened the news feed. His face filled the screen, once confident, now drained under harsh lighting. The headline screamed, Businessman Daniel Grant accused of misusing client funds. I exhaled slowly. You've got to be kidding me. Olivia spoke softly. It's real. His brother Tyler sold him out. There's an investigation already. A bitter laugh escaped me. Tyler? The same guy who swore he'd take a bullet for him. Apparently self-preservation beats loyalty, she said. I leaned back, scrolling through comments. People who once praised Daniel now shredded him. Screenshots of bank records, leaked chats, statements, it was chaos. He really thought he could outrun consequence forever, I murmured. Olivia's tone turned gentle. You sound calm. I am, I replied. Because I didn't lift a finger. Justice came on its own. There was silence on her end, then a sigh. Maybe that's karma. You let go, and the universe handled it. Maybe, I said quietly. Or maybe he just dug too deep a hole. She paused. Samantha's name is trending too. I frowned. Of course it is. She's being dragged with him, luxury trips, stolen funds, photos resurfacing. It's ugly. I rubbed my temples. I almost pity her. Olivia's voice softened. Almost. She chose that life. She wanted his name, his money. Now she gets his downfall. Olivia didn't reply. Only the faint hum of the city filled the pause. Later that day, I walked into my office. My team buzzed with whispers, screens showing the same headlines. One of the interns looked up nervously. "Sir, is that the Daniel Grant you used to work with?" I nodded. "Yes." "And no, we're not commenting." They fell silent. I closed my door, watching rain streak across the glass. My reflection looked composed, too calm for the storm outside. Maybe that's what healing looked like. By noon, another headline broke: Daniel Grant arrested after financial misconduct confirmed. Olivia texted, "He's in custody." Tyler's testifying. Samantha's gone offline. I stared at the message for a while. Then I typed back, "It's strange." I didn't lift a finger, and still, justice found its way. That evening, Olivia dropped by my apartment with takeout. She set the bags on the table, shaking her head. "It's surreal. They're saying he's been moving money for years. Even his own board didn't know." I poured her tea. "Arrogance makes people think they're untouchable." She smiled faintly. "You sound like a philosopher." "I've had practice," I said. "Revenge teaches patience. Letting go teaches peace." She tilted her head. "And which one did you choose?" "Neither," I replied. "I just stopped choosing pain." We ate in silence for a bit. The TV played muted coverage, Daniel in handcuffs, flashes of cameras, Samantha hiding her face behind sunglasses. Olivia broke the quiet. "Do you ever think you'd forgive her?" I stirred my tea. "Forgiveness isn't the problem. Forgetting is." She nodded slowly. "You could still forgive without forgetting." "Maybe one day," I said. "But not for her. For me." Her gaze lingered on me, warm and steady. "You've come a long way, Ethan." "I had to," I said softly. "Otherwise, they'd still own space in my head." She smiled. "You don't sound angry anymore." "I'm not. Anger was fuel, but peace is freedom." She chuckled. "You should put that on a motivational poster." I laughed quietly. "Maybe I will." The next morning, headlines turned harsher. Grant Holdings declares bankruptcy. Samantha Lee Grant under investigation for accessory fraud. The empire they built on deception finally cracked open. I watched it happen like an observer at a theater, no joy, no gloating, just clarity. Later, I received an unexpected email. From Samantha. The subject line read, "I'm sorry." I hovered over it for a while before opening it. "I never thought it would end like this," she wrote. "I thought we were untouchable. I was wrong. I don't expect forgiveness, but I needed to say it. You didn't deserve what I did." I stared at the words. For a second, I felt that old ache, the echo of a wound that had long scarred over. Then I deleted the email. Olivia called that evening. "You okay?" "Yeah," I said. She wrote to me. "I guessed she might," Olivia said. "What did she say?" "Enough to make peace with herself. Not enough to change anything. So, closure." I looked out the window. The rain had stopped, and the city lights glimmered through the mist. "No," I said. "Just an ending." She was quiet for a moment. "You know, sometimes that's all we need." "Maybe," I said. But I didn't need to win. I just needed to stop losing. Olivia's voice softened. "And you did?" I smiled faintly. "Yeah. I guess I did. When the call ended, I sat in the quiet, feeling the stillness settle around me. No triumph, no bitterness, just relief. For the first time in years, I wasn't waiting for justice. It had already come, uninvited, swift, and poetic. And I finally felt free. The day she walked into my office, the air shifted. I'd seen her face on screens, headlines, gossip threads, but seeing her in person was different. Samantha looked hollow. The kind of broken that success couldn't fake away. "Ethan," she whispered, stopping at the door like she wasn't sure she deserved to cross it. I put down my pen. "You shouldn't be here." "I know," she said, voice trembling. But I didn't know where else to go. Silence. The city murmured outside, muffled through glass. I gestured to the chair across from me. "Sit." She hesitated, then did, carefully, like the chair might reject her too. Her hands twisted together on her lap. "I'm not here to beg," she said quickly. "I don't expect forgiveness. I didn't think you did." Her eyes flickered to mine, and for a second I saw the woman I used to know, confident, poised, untouchable. Then it was gone. "I just want to understand," she whispered. "How you moved on." The question hit harder than I expected. I leaned back slowly, studying her. "You think I moved on easily?" "I don't know what to think," she said. "You look fine. Like none of it left a scar." I exhaled through my nose. "It left plenty." She looked down. "I used to believe I could fix everything with control. With perfection. I thought love was just another project to manage." "Love doesn't survive management," I said quietly. "It needs honesty. Something we both failed at." Her voice cracked. "I didn't mean to destroy you. But you did." Tears shimmered in her eyes. "I know." I looked away. The silence stretched, heavy but not cruel. "You're here because Daniel's gone, aren't you?" She swallowed. "He's in jail. Tyler's testifying again. Everything's gone, the house, the company, even my car. I sold jewelry to pay legal fees." I nodded slowly. "So now you want closure?" She flinched. "No. I just wanted to see what peace looks like. Because I can't find it." Her words sank into the quiet between us. For a long moment, I said nothing. Then I finally answered, "I stopped needing revenge." She blinked. "What?" "That's how I moved on," I said. "By not chasing balance. By letting karma work better than anger ever could." Her lips trembled. "You actually believe that?" "I've lived it." She gave a small, bitter laugh. "You sound like a monk." "Maybe pain makes monks out of the stubborn," I said. She wiped her cheek with the back of her hand. "Do you ever hate me?" "Sometimes," I admitted. "Mostly when I remember how blind I was. But then I remember who I am now, and it fades." Her gaze dropped again. "You're lucky. I can't escape who I've become." "Then stop trying to be her," I said. "You keep clinging to the version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore." Her voice broke. "That version had you." I didn't respond. The truth stung both of us equally. She took a shaky breath. "You were the only thing that was real. Everything else was performance." "I know," I said softly. "And I stayed too long in the front row." She almost smiled. "You always did love the show." "Not anymore." She leaned forward slightly. "Is there any part of you that could ever?" "No," the word came out firm, final. "You want me to say there's hope. But there isn't. Not that kind." Her eyes glistened, but she nodded. I figured. The silence that followed wasn't sharp this time. It just existed. Like a wound that finally stopped bleeding but still hurt when touched. After a while, she stood. You know, everyone told me I'd end up alone. I didn't listen. And now? I asked. Now I understand what they meant. I studied her, not the woman I once loved, but the echo of her. You'll survive, I said. She let out a shaky laugh. That's the first kind thing you've said. It's not kindness, I said. It's certainty. You're too proud to quit. She gave a small nod, stepping toward the door. You really did change. I had to, I said. You don't rebuild from ashes by staying in the fire. She stopped, turning halfway back. If I'd said sorry back then, really said it, would it have mattered? I thought about it for a long moment. Maybe. But you didn't. And that's the part that made me stronger. She nodded again, quietly, like she finally accepted something heavy. Goodbye, Ethan. Goodbye, Samantha. The door clicked shut behind her. The sound lingered longer than I expected. For a while, I just sat there, staring at the empty chair she'd occupied, her words still echoing faintly. Part of me wanted to feel triumphant. But all I felt was quiet. Olivia knocked softly and stepped in. Was that her? Yeah. She looked awful. She's lost everything, I said. Olivia crossed her arms. And how do you feel? I thought for a moment. Lighter. But not happy. She nodded slowly. Sometimes peace isn't joy. It's just silence after the noise. I met her eyes. Exactly. She smiled faintly. You're really done, aren't you? I think so, I said. For the first time, I don't need to look back. She nodded and left me alone again. I leaned back in my chair, watching sunlight stretch across the floor, soft, unhurried, clean. For the first time, the past didn't hurt. It just existed. And that was enough. The sea was quiet that evening. Not silent, just gentle, like it had finally run out of things to say. The waves reached the shore in soft sighs, pulling at the sand, erasing footprints I didn't need to follow anymore. Olivia sat beside me, cross-legged, her hair flickering gold in the fading light. Neither of us had spoken in a while. It didn't feel necessary. The silence wasn't heavy, it was whole. You've been staring at that horizon for 20 minutes, she said finally, smiling. Planning your next empire? I chuckled, shaking my head. No empires left in me. Good, she said. You were never built for war. I thought I was, I said. For a long time, I thought revenge was fuel. Turns out it was poison. She brushed sand off her hand, glancing at me. But you drank it anyway. I did, I admitted. And it burned everything, anger, love, pride. I kept thinking if I saw them fall, I'd heal. And did you? I smiled faintly. No. I just watched ashes drift. She leaned back on her elbows. Then what fixed you? Time, I said. And people who didn't want to see me break. Her eyes softened. People like me. I nodded. Exactly like you. The wind carried the scent of salt and warmth. The horizon shimmered, gold bleeding into violet. She tilted her head. You know, the old you wouldn't have admitted that. The old me was too proud to heal, I said. Too busy proving I wasn't broken. She smiled. You were. We all are, sometimes. I just hid mine behind work, I said. Awards, clients, success, I thought if I built enough, the emptiness would disappear. But it doesn't, does it? No, I said softly. It only gets quieter when you stop feeding it. We both watched the sun slide lower. A few kids ran by, laughing, their joy echoing across the sand. I envied their simplicity, the way they moved without thinking about the weight of yesterday. Do you still think about her? Olivia asked after a while. Sometimes, I said. But not like before. It's strange, I don't feel anger, or love, or even regret. Just, distance. She doesn't deserve your thoughts anymore. It's not about her deserving them, I said. It's about me not needing them. She nodded, silent again. The kind of understanding that doesn't need words. I used to replay everything, I continued quietly. Every conversation, every lie, every moment I could have stopped the fall. But now, it's like a movie I watched once. I remember the ending, but not the pain. Then that's peace, she said. I looked at her. Yeah, I murmured. I think it is. The tide crept closer, brushing our feet. Olivia smiled at the water. You know, I always wondered if peace feels like victory. It doesn't, I said. It feels like surrender, but the good kind. She laughed softly. Surrender isn't your style. It wasn't, I said. But I learned it's the only way to stop fighting ghosts. Ghosts like Samantha. Ghosts like the man I was, I said. The one who begged the universe for balance. The one who thought pain had to mean something. And now? Now, I don't need meaning, I said. I just need quiet. She smiled faintly. You got that now. I do. I glanced at her. Because of you. She looked away, cheeks faintly flushed. Don't give me too much credit. I'm serious, I said. You were there when I didn't have a reason to speak. You stayed when silence was the only thing I offered. That's what friends do, she said softly. Friends? I teased. She met my gaze, smirking. For now. Her laugh was light, real, and something in me finally loosened. For the first time in years, the air didn't taste like memory. It just was. Do you think people ever truly forgive? I asked suddenly. She thought for a moment. Not always, she said. But I think they outgrow the need to. I smiled. Then maybe that's what happened to me. She nudged my shoulder. Or maybe you just ran out of energy to hate. Maybe both, I said, laughing quietly. The sky deepened into orange and rose. The waves glowed like molten glass. Everything looked temporary, and that made it perfect. You ever notice, Olivia said, how endings are just quieter beginnings? I nodded. Yeah. But this time, I'm not rushing to start the next one. She leaned her head on my shoulder. Good. Then just be here. I exhaled slowly, feeling the warmth of her against me, the rhythm of the sea sinking with my own. I used to think closure meant revenge, I said. That peace had to be earned through suffering. And now, she asked. Now I think peace is just, choosing not to reopen old wounds. That's growth, she whispered. Maybe it's just exhaustion, I said with a smile. She laughed again, a sound I wanted to remember. The sun finally dipped below the horizon. For a moment, everything turned gold, the water, the air, even her eyes. I whispered, I thought revenge would fix me. She turned slightly. And? It didn't, I said. Time did. And maybe, people like you. Her smile lingered in the fading light. Then let time do the rest. The waves rolled in one last time, brushing the sand smooth. I watched the ocean breathe and finally felt what I'd been chasing all along, not triumph, not justice. Just stillness. The past no longer called my name. The future didn't rush to meet me. And for the first time, I didn't need either one. Just the sound of the sea. And the woman beside me. Peace, finally.